This video teaches you about coastal processes and coastal landforms.
There are three main coastal processes: erosion, transportation, and deposition.
Coastal erosion is the wearing away of rock by the sea or waves. There are four main types: hydraulic action, attrition, corrasion, and corrosion.
We will start off with erosion and the coastal landforms created as a result of this process. Sea waves look for lines of weakness, joints or cracks in a headland. These cracks occur from subaerial process, where erosion is caused by processes above the area in contact with the sea. Waves erode a line of weakness in headlands by hydraulic action. When waves break against the headland, they trap air in cracks in the rock. The air becomes compressed. When the wave recedes, the air expands. This repetitive process causes a mini explosion which can break away bits of rock and make cracks bigger. Eventually, the cracks will get big enough and form a sea cave. The sea cave will get bigger and cut all the way through the headland, forming an arc. As the arc gets bigger, the weight of the arc roof increases and eventually becomes unbearable. So it collapses, leaving an isolated column of rock called a stack. The stack will be eroded by the sea and weathered by the air. The stack is mainly eroded by hydraulic action, abrasion, and corrosion. Abrasion is where the materials in the sea rub against the rock by sandpaper action. This forms a wave-cut notch at the bottom of the stack. Acids in the seawater may also dissolve the rock. Either way, both erosional process will leave a stump in the water.
That's it for coastal erosion and its features. Next, transportation. Transportation is the movement of materials or the load carried by the sea. The main type of transportation that takes place in coasts is longshore drift. In longshore drift, materials are moved along the beach from one position to another. Materials are carried onto the beach by swash. Swash is the movement of the sea wave onto the beach after the breaking of a wave. Swash acts in the same direction as the dominant or prevailing wind, so it advances the beach at an angle. As the sea wave advances onto the beach, it carries sediments with it. As the wave moves back onto the sea, it carries with it some or all of the sediments that it carried off the beach during swash. This movement of water back into the sea is called backwash. The key thing about backwash in longshore drift is that it happens at a 90 degrees angle due to the effect of gravity. So beach materials are carried at 90 degrees back into the sea. This process repeats again, and as it does so, beach material is carried along the beach from one end to another, following the direction of longshore drift.
Finally, coastal deposition. Deposition is the process whereby materials carried by the sea is deposited at the loss of energy. There are many coastal landforms created by deposition, such as spits, beaches, and sand dunes. We'll focus on spits and beaches. Spits start to form when there is a change in the direction of the coastline, where longshore drift had taken place. This can be where a river, estuary, or a headland is found. The beach material is deposited as the water is too deep for swash and backwash to act on it. Eventually, as more sediments are deposited, it builds up above sea level. So swash and backwash acts on it again. Sediments will then be forced out seawards across the estuary, forming a long, thin ridge made up of sand and shingle, attached to a mainland at one end called the sandpit. The end of the spit, known as the distal end, can be hooked shape when there is a change in direction of the prevailing wind, causing the waves to alter their direction. During this time, some material at distal end is pushed inland to form the curved or hooked end. However, this is only temporary. The usual direction of growth of the spit will resume once the wind returns to its usual direction.
Salt marshes also form alongside the formation of a spit. They develop in the sheltered water behind the spit. We have covered the three main coastal processes and the coastal landforms associated with them.
Hope this was useful.